Ready?
Right. Welcome. I know it's been a little bit, guys, but I wanted to welcome you to the third session of the Red Storm Rising campaign adventure titled The Foulest of Spirits. It is designed by Gooey Cube and presented to you by the Greater Mulmaster Beholders Corps, where we hope your minds will be opened by wonder tonight. We've had a blast playing so far, and now we begin session 3 of this chapter. And as always, playing today we have Zane, Mark, Lee, the Mighty Trey,
Hey!
and Chris.
Hey.
And folks, I am Casey, better known as the Emissary of the Great Mother. So, as always, my aberrations, I ask you, shall we begin?
Aye!
Hi.
Of course!
Aye.
Well, I would say that the eyes have it then. So, washing the filth from their hands in the cold creek can never wash from their minds what they had just experienced. The last session was a bit traumatic. I'm not going to take the time to recap it. If you have time, you're welcome to watch it. It's recorded and available on our channel here on YouTube, so you're welcome to enjoy that. But in a mighty pyre of flame and ash, they sent the evil spirits away and released the spirits of the dead that they found in the cottage to eternal rest mercifully and appropriately, with a beautiful prayer to Kismia and Jinx, Radian, and any other gods that would gather them into their souls, gather their souls into their divine realms, or deific realms, I should say. It was a beautiful tribute to those folks, those poor souls that they found in that location. And then the party here took the opportunity to go to the creek just to the north of the glade and wash their hands on that cold morning. And that, my friends, is where we begin. So you are at the creek near the below, so that you can complete your courier mission to take the Hanatah's letters for the other troops and find if there's any other troop Hanatah's letters that are available for you.
Darn fetch quests.
Well, at least it's not a grind quest, right? Well, I don't know. As many encounters as you have, maybe it is, but
it's kind of a combination. Yeah,
We're grinding pretty hard.
Well, it's not an X of Y quest.
And I need a second breakfast because I think I lost my first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you all did. That was tough, but you all are just kind of relaxing. If you want to have a little bite to eat, that may be a good idea to kind of replenish your your emotions and your wits. But any comments or questions before we begin and make a decision on where next you guys would like to go? You kind of found a clearing, and there were some trails. There's a trail that goes to the east. There's a trail that goes to the west. There's a trail that goes to the north. You found another trail off near the north when you heard the scream and you panicked and came down here. So I'll give you guys an opportunity to just kind of talk amongst yourselves and figure out what your next move might be.
Can you remind me what kingdom or land we're in right now again?
We're in the city of Nevermore.
Yeah, we're in the world of Zayathe.
Right.
We are on the continent of Verdestia, on the western side of Verdestia, in the Republic of Zyranthia. And what I can do right here is let me go ahead and show you the Republic of Zyranthia. Maybe before the next, you all see that map now?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe before the next session, I have actually a new regional map that we just created that would be fun to be able to show you. But
That'd
if
be
you guys,
awesome.
If you guys look, you'll see kind of in the middle of this map two major landmarks, one called Darken Haven and one called Mousderon. Mousderon is a big mountain. And then Darken Haven is the capital city of the Republic of Zyranthia. To the south of that, you'll see Shugenshire, which is where a lot of horses are bred, very well-known horses. And then to the south of that, you'll find a small town named Nevermore, right to the west of the Black Rot Bog. And where you are right now is right to the east of Nevermore, right on the King's Road, that road that travels right there along the edge of Nevermore on the south side and goes to the Black Rot Bog.
That's where the carnival is.
Carnival was, yes. That's right.
I
Exactly.
just needed it for my little journal thing because I usually put a title into the episode after we're done, and I forgot to ask that last time.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
called it now Zyranthia Chainmail Massacre as opposed to Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Well, it's
The
good.
house,
It's been a while.
The country, kind of, you know.
It's been a while, and it's good to kind of have a review of the region and in the area. And actually, you guys are traveling through the forest to the south of Nevermore there to the Old Willow. And so, if it was blown up a little bigger, you'd be able to see a little more of that. And like I said, maybe next time I'll have a new map for you, which would really help. But
I have one other question then too. We saw a sign, I think, that said Woodhaven.
that was posted on the door of the cottage.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the name of the homestead.
I was pretty sure that's where it was and that it wasn't on the bridge, but I wanted to be sure that it was like the property or whatever.
Yeah, it's actually the property of the cottage that you guys burned to the ground. And a question came about after the fact of, did we start a forest fire? And I said, no, because you guys thought about that ahead of time and decided that you would find a way to be able to watch it. There was some water by and you were ready in case anything kindled outside of that. But I believe that the gods smiled upon the actions that you took and
Yeah, that
appropriately
looks.
kept anything kindling outside of what was expected.
That and it looks like there's quite a bit of clearing around the cabin, so I think we're good.
It's in a pretty broad meadow there. So,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions?
So we're heading from here, according to the map that Borag gave us. We're moving to the. We're going to be moving to the southwest from here.
Yes. Handout
Okay.
number 2, Borag's map.
Yeah, it looks like there's a. Looks like there might be a trail on the other side of the clearing towards the southeast, or southwest. So I was thinking that
You
might
see
be.
it- Yeah, you see a trail over here. You see a trail here.
Yeah.
You see what is more of a path here,
Okay.
similar to the path that you guys came across the bridge on. And you see.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might not be a bad option. Either that, or we have to go back up and
Yeah,
around.
You see over here, it looks like might be an open waterway, and
Possibly a lake.
Where were we going before, though? Weren't we originally headed to that trail that's kind of over in the...
Down somewhere over in the bottom left. So
Yeah, but like, remember that trail kind of by the... It's
Mhm.
still south of the original zombies, but you can see it in that little kind of
Yep.
square shape. Yeah, that one. That's
Yep.
where we were kind of headed, right?
that's where we were headed before we got attacked, and then I heard the screaming.
Good.
Yeah,
That's
so-
what I recall.
But
you
according
have
to
a
the
trail
map,
here, you have a path up here, you have a path over in this area, you have a path down here, you have a trail here, you have a trail down
Before-
here. So you have.
Before we
plenty-
take one of those paths, did you want me to play my little Quembar slideshow thing?
I skipped over that, and thank you for reminding me. We've been doing something called a character spotlight, and having the opportunity for our folks to share a little bit more about their character, and Kimber has done that, so we're going to go ahead and let Kimber take the character spotlight at this point. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I didn't want to interrupt. We were going so well, and then I just had to interrupt.
had to derail everything. Dang.
That's okay.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Well, it is a slideshow, so it'll be showed on the live stream. So if you guys want to bring that up, I'm going to play it right now, and I'll tell you when it's over. So it's one of those kind of videos. Started. Quembar Rand was a young lad who got himself in trouble many times. Not the trouble that leads someone to the streets and prison, but the innocent trouble where a child doesn't listen well. He traversed the streets looking for other children to play with and found instead an old man with goats. It wasn't until he started visiting earlier in the morning, arriving at school late, that it was a problem. The last thing he remembers his father telling him is, "There is no life for you with a menagerie of animals." That night, when he went to sleep, realizing his father's disappointment, he had decided to do what would make him proud. He sat in bed till he finally fell asleep. Alas! A creature awoke him in his dark, its eyes piercing the night. Mistaken harsh. Alone in his despair, they traveled far. The carriage prison was hot and the air hardly breathable. His captors had no empathy for him. They only fed him rancid water and tossed him an unusual dried meat. It was nearly unbearable. After a while, the rations were sought after and much needed. Finally, in his new home, he was shown daily what happens to those that resist. Heads were hung in his cell. The men that had taken him drank concoctions that made them insane. Eventually, the creatures drank themselves into a stupor with the arrival of a new shipment. As a few times before, they left his cage unlocked, but this time he made use of it. Still, could this be the end? He was surrounded by desolate land. Somehow, though, the land gave him exactly what he needed. Even a companion, a horse that he could ride to freedom, and its bags a map. Even so, man once found him again. They took his only friend and left him for dead right at the edge of escape. There he laid waiting for the death, praying for death. His answers were not heeded. The days passed as he drifted into delirium, where he found warmth, kindness, and love. Suddenly torn back into the life, he felt pain, but the image of a beautiful exotic woman was above him. He tried to speak, but only a moan exhaled. He knew his breath must have been rancid because she drew back. Another was amongst her, but all he could see was her. He closed his eyes, trembling cold blackness took him. Later he woke to the blue-veiled troop crowded around him. They were welcoming and close friends, but they were a family. He craved such a thing. The many scars upon his body were gone, but Quembar knew exactly where every one of them existed. He was told by Anton about the Lady of Luck, Kismia. He knew then that she was the only one that showed him the way to the Hanatas. Here he found friends. His friends got to face strange new evils, creatures from the dark, and a cult. No, he hopes it is not the same ones that had captured him before. Well, he kind of hoped it was, so he could finally get rid of them. Snakes, spiders, undead, oh my. With a newfound confidence, Quembar feels there is a whole new world out there for him. Perhaps he could be renewed as a hero he needs to be. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It got a little rushed at the end there. I got distracted by the kids, but all is well. It's still pretty good, I think.
Not bad.
All right, I got to learn how to unmute my microphone. That was
Bravo!
that
Me
was
too.
very, very good. That was very good. I enjoyed that. The pictures made me laugh more times than I can count.
I realized in the friends picture we don't have enough females in our group.
No, unfortunately, Kenny gets picked on because of that. But
Yeah.
maybe we'll find a way to add somebody. We'll see. I kind of expected it by now, but it hasn't happened. So I don't know. But well done. Thank you for that. And there's no question about it. I think you get a Gooey reward for that. So give me a roll, please.
Oh yeah. Did that roll it? Guess not.
And it has not rolled yet.
Did not roll.
There you go. Adrenaline rush.
Oh, hit the dice. I see.
Maybe played at any time. This is a very rare and special Gooey reward. It can be spent to give your character 2 full actions within a round. first action
Wow.
will take place on your initiative as normal. The second action will take place at the last action. And yes, you can move and attack again,
What about
or light
casting
all things
spells?
on fire.
With another yeah, nice. Nice.
Nice. Okay.
That is perfect for you. We need you to have that.
That is awesome. All right, let me get that handed out to you right now. Adrenaline rush
Woohoo.
goes.
We'll be able to save all the goats now. Not
Save all the goats.
You guys do know that the more gooey rewards you get, the stronger you get, which means the stronger the harder the monsters would be, right?
Ooh, let's start spending those things, guys.
I'm all spent, guys.
Maybe I should say the longer it takes before you get to level 2. I don't know.
Ooh.
I'll spend all mine now.
All right, friends. Thank you for doing that. Okay, everybody give me a d20 roll. Let's see if we're lucky. You feeling lucky tonight? You feeling lucky?
Very lucky.
Let's burn those crits. Come on, burn those crits. Burn those crits. No luck tonight. Well, that means
Not
that
the
you
same.
got the other rolls out of the way, which means the crits are coming, right?
That's
Hopefully.
right.
Hopefully in the positive
Speaking,
direction.
statistically speaking, they have to be.
All right, timeout's over. Segway's done. We're back beyond the inside the fourth wall. So I come back to talk amongst yourselves, role play a little bit, figure out what it is that you guys want to do now.
All right, get out the map, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at that. Looks like we need to go southwest of the cottage here. So we need to go back to the other side of the clearing and get back on that trail.
Or we could just cut across from here to the trail. I mean, you see where the old cottage is.
Yeah.
We could take
That's what
the
I mean.
trail
We
down.
should just,
Take the
go
trail
straight
down to the
down.
creek, yeah.
I don't feel like going across the forest, so I think we should take a trail.
Well, if we take the trail from here down to that main road again, we can get back on the road where we were. Or on a better road, actually, than the one we were on.
He thinks we've already been attacked twice since we've been here, and to give anything an opportunity to hide behind a tree anymore would be a bit more risky than we need. I think we should
Yes.
take a trail.
Let's
Agreed.
get back on the trail. Let's cross this clearing. We already know this clearing, and just go straight down to that trail, as I've drawn on the map.
And I will scout again.
All right, I shall follow behind, fully ready for anything and everything to possibly and most likely jump out at us.
As you guys are crossing the clearing, give me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dang it. Oops. Oh, dang. Far from my best perception roll.
It's not
Cora's fascinated by the fire smoldering still.
Yeah, as you guys are passing the clearing, you're all quite traumatized by what had happened earlier in the day, and so the lingering smell of the zombies still kind of air, and the mist of the smoke rising off of the burnt embers of the cottage are rising up and mingling with that, and so it's an odd smell and an odd sensation. With it being dark tide, and with it being a kind of a creepy forest and all, your senses are heightened. You're somewhat nervous about the world around you, and so you look intently. You almost expect that maybe coming out of the trees something might come at you, and nothing actually does as you pass the clearing there, and you feel fairly confident as you're heading towards the trail.
Hmm.
There isn't something out there to get you, though. Quembar just has this sense that maybe you're being watched. But if he would have seen anything specifically. His intuition is telling him that maybe you're being. So you guys cross the clearing with this feeling that you're going kind of from there, and as you're getting towards the main trail, let me go ahead and reveal that for. As you get to the trail there, Gror, you start to feel. Do you remember when you woke up this morning? You kind of felt something burning on your chest. You felt your chest burning, and it was kind of itchy and everything. And you took your shirt off, and there wasn't anything there. And I kind of decided, well, that sensation has come back again. And it seems to be even more pronounced and a little irritable.
It's not chafing from my beard or anything, right? Nothing that.
Well, your beard's not up underneath, no.
I can't guess at what it could be from at all.
You could give me an insight check.
While he's doing the insight, Kimber's looking for any undead severed heads that might still be watching us.
Okay.
Can I use a one of my gooey rewards on this? It's not an ability check, right?
Yeah. Skill checks are ability checks.
Yeah, that's an ability check. If you want to burn it on there for that nat 20, you certainly can.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right. Let me remove that from you. Advantage on an ability check. The 4 is now gone. Okay. Easy peasy. Cool. So you are just bothered by this itching, and it's kind of consuming your mind. And you take your shirt off, and you actually, you don't doff your armor, but you kind of pull it up in a way to be able to see what's going on. And everybody else is on the other side of the clearing, and you're kind of standing there. And you're fiddling around with your shirt and your armor, trying to figure out what the heck this is that's going on, and it's something like you've never experienced before. And so you just try and scrape any sort of experience that you've ever had or heard about with what could be causing this, thinking that maybe there's a bug or something that was in there, and as you look, you notice that your chest kind of has a redness to it, but it's not a rash. And it seems like it's coming from internal. And what you're concerned about is your family history. And you're not certain, but what starts to kind of creep into your mind is maybe this is the first indication of the genetic disease that runs within your family.
But this at least does feel more skin-like than bone-like.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really has you confused, is because it feels more epidermal than it feels a bone affliction. But that's the only thing that you can think of, because your skin is starting to kind of turn red. Maybe you think that maybe you had been bitten by something. Maybe it was something that you encountered through what has happened over the last couple of days. It's just hard to tell. But you're kind of starting to believe that maybe it has something to do more with your family, or something internal, or something strange is going on there. But you just don't know what that could be.
All right, I will keep it to myself nonetheless.
Okay, and because that was a natural 20, as we move on, I'll probably feed you some more things that I wouldn't have fed you before. So, okay. All right, guys. Okay. So, Groy, do you head on over and kind of catch up with everybody as they all stand there staring at you? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll catch up and myself back together again too on the way there.
Okay. All right. Well, as you find a fairly well-beaten path that heads off almost directly towards the west, looks like it might curve around a little bit as you're going that direction. A little bit more. You guys get to the point to where you're at there. Go ahead and stay right where you are there, Kenna.
Yep.
You see kind of coming around the corner of the trail, walking towards you. You hear a lowing. Or not a lowing, but kind of a nicker. And you see a pony with its head kind of hanging down. And she's still in bridle and saddle, but there's no rider on her. What do? Just coming down the trail.
I'll look around, see if there's anything obvious from in the trees around the pony, and then approach slowly, going.
Yeah, give me a perception check, please.
Yeah, that's a crit.
You see everything.
Yeah, I'll just open up the book here and see what's coming up. No.
So you look around to see if there's anything in the woods, to see if somebody's standing there or something. You're very confident that nothing is there that would even have anything to do with this horse. And your perception of the horse is such that it looks lost to you. You've had experience with horses before.
Yeah. I'll go up and it's got its bit and bridle, right? So I'll take the reins.
Give me a charisma animal handling check.
Yeah.
With advantage, please, because of your
that's
perception
advantage.
check, kind of knowing what the horse is feeling and kind of perceiving at this time. Okay, well that's good. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Pony just kind of stops and looks at you, and you approach it with the right air of caution and concern.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it must be well trained too. Ponies can be kind of persnickety.
Make sure it's still alive.
Save the ponies.
Is the pony walking towards Kenna?
It is walking towards Ken. Yeah.
I'm gonna look behind us much more then.
Okay. You keep an eye out behind you. I won't make a perception roll. You just kind of you're just kind of keeping an eye on everything, and you don't see anything that would be of danger behind you. And then as you grab the pony,
Mm-hmm.
You notice that there are a pair of extremely fine brown leather riding boots that are still in the stirrups.
Is there anything in the boots?
You go to check inside the boots, and you're relieved to find that there's still no legs or feet in the boots.
Okay, good.
They are empty.
What? That's funny.
Well, on this day of dark tide and with everything that's going on, you wouldn't be surprised now, would you?
Yeah, nope, not at all. Not in the slightest. I'd be grossed out, but I would not be surprised.
And just a cursory inspection with your continued strong perception check there.
Yeah.
You notice that there's a couple saddlebags on the pony's back.
Yeah, before I go through those, I'm going to make sure I'll check him, the pony over, make sure he doesn't have any wounds, make sure there's there's nothing caught in his horseshoes that would be causing pain or anything.
Yeah,
give him a good once over. So
yeah, I won't make you make a medicine or a survival check there because your perception and your animal handling is still strong, and so you don't notice that it looks like there's any affliction. To the pony. Looks like it's in pretty good shape, actually. And
I have two questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the pony pretty?
The pony is pretty. It's kind of a light cinnamon color with a more blondish mane, and it's well kept. It's actually very well kept.
No pink ponies for us.
No,
Does the tack and stuff, like, it seem to have, more of a gender-specific theme to it at all, or anything?
The tack wouldn't have a gender-specific theme, no.
And the boots don't look like they're specifically female or male boots.
It's a legit question too, like saddle or boots. Yeah.
That's where I was going.
No, the boots. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
I don't have the answer to that question.
Specifically, we can tell, just general knowledge, these boots are made for riding.
These boots are made for riding, yes.
And that's just what they'll do.
That's what I heard. One of these days.
They're not made for walking.
I'll check the saddlebags.
Yeah, check the saddlebags. I'm going to take the boots out of the stirrups just because that's really weird and disturbing. Check the size of them.
Yeah. Are they Fliegen? Are they Gror?
Are they Kenna?
Are sure they're not Thero sizes?
Yeah, they're definitely not Thero size. They're probably more Fliegen size.
Got it.
Score!
I will hand the riding boots over to
a woman's pony, right?
Your intuition is probably telling you that would be right. Yes. So, you do check the saddlebags, and you find in the saddlebags a water skin. And as you're opening the saddlebag, you actually find that they seem to be there's some initials stitched on them. Ooh. There, that's what the saddlebag looks like. But there's a water skin. There's 4 sticks of spicy jerky in there, and a crumpled note in the bag itself.
Quembar's looking around.
Let's look at the note.
Yeah.
Okay, the note is it looks like, unfortunately, it had been dropped in a mud puddle because it's all dried, muddy, and completely covered, and it's unlegible.
Well, Quembar still feels like we're being watched. Now that there's actually
Who has
evidence
magic
of
for
it,
that?
I'll look around.
And do you have magic for dirty notes? If not, I'll send you some.
I don't have anything that would let me read it, or anything that would let me clean it. So,
Anything else other than the jerky, water, and note?
Nope.
No wallet,
Okay.
no ID.
Nope.
I think it belongs to somebody named SW.
Gror thinks that the W could have some connection to Woodhaven, and Woodhaven could have been the family's name.
Can I search the side of the roads to see if someone fell off? We just don't see them.
Sure. Yeah, you guys, Quembar, kind of search the side of the road to see if somebody.
Gror wants to look ahead on the trail back where he was, not up where Kenna was, where the pony came from, but to see if anything else was riding in front of it or recently had come by. How rare.
Yeah, you guys kind of mill around to see if you see those kind of things, and none of those are there. Nobody laying on the side of the road. Doesn't seem like there's a rider who's coming down the road and lost it.
is the pony a boy or a girl?
Pony's a girl.
Girl.
Fleekin's going to take a look at these boots that were handed to him and see if they're better than the boots he has on now.
They probably are.
They're made for riding.
They are made for riding.
Not for walking. But we do have a pony that you could ride.
Gror also thinks we should name the
better
pony
and better.
Churro.
I've got javelins you can use as a
Lance?
joust.
I'm pretty sure it is not a war pony.
I'd like to put it to a vote to name the pony, and Gror wants to name it Churro.
Churro.
Is that worth an inspiration at least?
I was just kind of going there, and if you don't have an inspiration, Gror, you can have one now.
Did
Churro away!
I
Not
appreciate
churro, people. Not churro. Come on.
it. Just Churro, not Churro people. You're right.
I continue on.
It could be somebody who got here before us checked the house out and they weren't so lucky to leave alive. Like
That
we
is
were.
entirely possible.
So what do you guys? What's your plan?
I got a
from-
question. If
Yeah.
the boots fit on Fleegan, and this is a pony, is it set up for somebody like Fleegan's size?
Yeah, are the
Set up
stirrups
for somebody
long
large?
like a human size, or are they?
Yeah,
Normal
they're set up for somebody more Fleegan size.
We can adjust them slightly. So yeah, there could be a gnomish-sized woman ahead who has been injured or killed.
Ooh.
And there's
Don't
nothing,
get excited if she's killed, man.
there's nothing really fancy about the tack though at all, right? It's just pretty common grade as far as it goes. The saddle.
I wouldn't say that it's fancy. It's not bad quality, but I wouldn't say that it's like royalty quality.
Right.
But it's higher quality than most of what you would have. The troop would have is for tax.
Upper middle classish level,
Sure,
perhaps.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Okay.
Lesser nobility. Something
Yeah,
like
as you guys are kind of doing that and standing there talking around and everything, something catches your eye from the sky. I would say that would be who was looking around there? Quembar was looking around. Grower was looking around. You probably both see this about the same time because it's pretty spectacular. It's because a shadow actually passes over you over the path, and you look up to see what caused the shadow. The sun is kind of up there, and really know that there were any clouds in the sky at that point. And you see high above your heads, sky ship suspended on ropes beneath a huge, brightly colored oval-shaped balloon.
Is somebody falling out of it like that?
In a moment.
Okay. I'm like, what?
Not yet, but in a moment they will.
Hang on just a second. We got a big windstorm going on.
Yep.
I'm gonna be
It's all
right back,
good.
and I need to go get something from outside. Hang on.
Yeah, last night we had a thunderstorm roll through while we were doing the prep for Gen Con, and it was.
By the way, well done on that.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Perhaps this is the way they mount their horse from the sky.
They leave the boots on the horse, and they just try to foot first into the boots.
What's the thing hanging lowest, and is something standing on it that's very odd shaped, like, I don't know, Jar Jar Binks like or Kaminin, that's really skinny with long arms and legs?
On the
There's some
balloon.
banners
Yeah,
flying off the
yeah,
side.
Yeah, there's a couple of banners flying off the side,
Yeah.
but there's
So
no
that green thing hanging down though is like a rudder of some
rudder.
sort?
Yeah.
Rudder.
Okay. I was seeing those banners as being like the arms and the neck sticking up straight, and then like there was legs on there, and like the weirdest thing in the world was like riding on stairs or something.
Dude, do you need
Yeah.
glasses or something?
And it had little tiny gnome feet, and it was just all very.
Gnomes don't fly, despite the fact that you keep throwing
I
them.
was gonna say I disagree. But I'm just glad that's not what I thought I saw on there.
Yeah, no doubt.
So we can't make
I like
anything
to
of the
think-
initials. What's that?
I like to think the guy who's falling has a flamethrower for some reason.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe that W could connect to the house, and it was on the way to the house. Because why else would somebody be on this trail? But
Because normally people travel through here, so
it doesn't seem like it. We haven't really seen other people. We've only seen dead things that guard horrible houses.
It's
all good.
Yeah.
The wind, I mean, it was just like suddenly the wind just kicked up and these massive gusts came through, and we have this awning outside over our pergola, and it'll take that thing and destroy it, ram it into the house, so we just got it down. So, okay. Sorry, guys.
Now, I understand. I've lost a whole pavilion that was set up in my backyard due to a strange wind that just came through like a freight train, and then it was done. But it destroyed
had,
tons of stuff.
Yeah, we had to replace the table in the back patio because the wind grabbed it and picked it up and slammed it, glass top down on our deck.
Oh, well, speaking of things in the sky,
Yeah,
you
about
see a
that.
sky ship, and you've actually heard of such things, but this is the first time you have actually ever seen one. The sky ship is perhaps at 200 feet above the ground and is traveling to the west, roughly in the direction of Darkenhaven. Good thing we talked about that just a minute ago. Billowing flags of red and orange flutter from the stern of the sky ship, and you can barely make out a name on the bow, and it says Cloud's Rest. And as you regard the marvel before you, suddenly you see a body fall from the side and plummet to the ground just to the north of you. So, with a pony standing here that you've inspected and looking around, what do you do?
Is there a sound of an impact? Is it a sickening thud like we would
It's
expect?
far enough away that you don't hear the thud.
I feel like
Did
we
it
should
land in the
start
opening
running
or
that
like
way.
in true?
Yeah.
It was off to the north of you, out into the trees somewhere.
No
Is it far
sound
enough
of,
that
like,
it
snapping
might have
trees?
been into the lake that's north of us?
No, it's kind of the east, and probably no, it would be more due to the north, off into the forest and stuff. This forest is a lot bigger. Again, think of these squares are about I think they're 50 feet, something like that. So, probably more off. Let me get my ping here.
Is there
Probably more off than this.
any sound of
Okay.
the trees breaking though, or anything like that?
No.
Yeah,
All right.
we should probably go see if they need help.
Well-
Quimber?
I'll start sprinting off that direction through the trees.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my impulse
Stringing-
action too, is to take off running.
Okay. Go ahead.
Stringy bow, knocking arrow, taking off running.
Okay. I want first one who's running out there is Theros. I wanted you to give me a perception check with advantage because you're all taken out there looking to see if you. Okay. The trees are fairly thick to begin, and they kind of lighten up and then they're thick, and then you kind of come into a clearing area about where you think the body probably fell. But it takes some time to get there, probably close to 10 to 12 minutes by the time you get through the trees and find the clearing and
That is a hell of a sprint.
has failed. Yeah, you kind of had to work through some things, so at some point you kind of stopped. But yeah, it took you a little bit to kind of get out to that point. Let me kill.
Legion will follow with the new pony.
I was hoping whoever it was would come close enough that I would be able to cast Featherfall on them before they hit.
Unfortunately, no.
No, yeah.
So right over here, kind of on the edge of this clearing before it heads on down towards the creek that you see there, you actually find the body in a small dell there. You see the corpse of the body laying on the ground, quite dead.
What?
What do you do?
Quimber, can you tell what caused the death? Was it the impact, or were they already dead when they were thrown off?
That's a good question. I'll move up and check them.
Okay.
Since everybody else is looking at the body, Groar's gonna watch the airship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we see the name on it, like in the picture where it said Cloud's Rest?
You just see something, a name on the bow that says Cloud's Rest, but what that means, you're not sure.
Okay.
Okay. That could be the name of the ship for all you know. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking we need to report that if it's heading towards Nevermore.
It's heading
If
towards Darkenhaven, actually.
Darkenhaven, okay.
But Nevermore would be kind of to the
Northwest, yeah, northeast,
and,
sorry, yeah.
and Darkenhaven would be more towards the north.
You buy a cheap ticket, that's what you get.
So
They don't even stop to drop you off.
Well, as you inspect,
Oh, they dropped them.
you inspect the corpse. You notice a
Off too.
It's the body of a tall, orange-skinned humanoid with purplish hair that you immediately recognize as a Sarth. For those who don't, we haven't talked much about the races of this world, but the Sarth are a unique race to Zayathe.
Yeah, I kicked one in the Jimmy.
That's right. That's right. At Carnival, there were a couple of them that were fighting outside the gambling, and tall, orange-skinned individuals, somewhat wiry, and quite a beautiful people. Actually, their females are gorgeous. With their orange skin and their blue eyes and their multicolored hair, they're quite stunning. And their males are quite impressive to look at. They're wiry, but they're strong.
Yeah, I'm aware. One punched me in the head.
So you see the body of a Sarth. He's dressed in silken pants and silk jacket with no shirt. He's lying face up on the ground in a pool of blood. And you actually notice on his chest a rather large brand that has been combined with tattoo artistry. It's about 6 inches in diameter, and the mark depicts what appears to be a black sun with 8 red rays extending from the center.
I'll attempt to recognize that religion.
Okay, give me a religion check. With your religion check, you have never experienced anything like this before in your study of religion, so it is new to you. What else would you like to do? Did we lose somebody?
I am still here. I'm just wondering.
Trey is muted.
Yep, Mark.
That's right.
Yeah, I think we're still here.
Okay.
What else would you like to do?
Did that
Search.
airship linger at all, or did it just kind of speed away almost as
You guys-
much as you
He disappeared over the horizon. Yes,
Was
sir.
anybody else ever seen on there, like above the rail?
You did not see any other figures. You just saw the body fall.
Guys, do you want me
Even
to?
when we could
You want
see
me to
the-
raise him with our scroll?
That's it.
You don't
I
have
was thinking about that.
right?
Do I think Revivify will bring this person back since they just died?
Won't bring them back. They've been. You recognize that they have actually been dead, probably before they fell.
Oh.
They've been dead longer than it took for you guys to find him.
All right.
Ironically, side note, just because I knew you guys were going to do that, I actually had to ask. What happens if they revivify this guy and they're like, you can't? Like, why? And Alphinius actually told me it's because he was dead before he hit the ground.
because I didn't do a backstory on the guy.
Would
No.
would Quembar be able to tell that with a successful medicine check?
I'm just going to give it to him
Okay.
that he had a religion check in there that was pretty good. I don't know. I'm just going to give it to you.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I probably should have had you do a medicine check, but I don't want to
All
belabor
good.
the point.
It's all good. Well, check him for any. I don't think he has any valuables, but if he does, might as well take
There you
them,
go,
right?
the body. All right.
Yep.
You guys, good Hanataz you are.
Well, yeah.
Wigan's been wanting some silk pants, I heard. So
Daggers, daggers, more
They are-
daggers.
They're soaked in blood and 3 times his size. Okay.
It's all right. We can pin him up.
We have an
They're perfect because
unidentified
they're
body
third silk.
and a pony to put it on.
New boots. I'm having a great day.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the clothes are soaked in blood.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as you loot the body, you don't find any items of value. But in his pocket is a flyer for a tavern and inn that apparently is in Darkenhaven. And the name of the place is none other than Strong Arm McGillen's Tavern and Inn. Some people may know the reference to that.
Yes.
And on the back of the flyer are a number of names that have been crossed out. The scratched out names are Crammed in Holler Over, Cassina Vaunt, Drubin Dimblediddle, Salane Shanton. And the name at the bottom of the list, however, has not been lined through, and that name is Rigo Vladek.
Do I recognize what nationality or race that name might come from?
Give me a history check, or you can do. Yeah, you can give me a history.
Okay.
It's gonna be your intelligence or with a history,
Yeah,
just kind of a background.
Okay.
So no, it doesn't seem to
Okay.
tell you what nationality that'd be. But Strong Arm McGillen's Tavern and Inn, like nightly entertainment, come feast your eyes on dances by the fairest maidens of all Darkenhaven. Hear the ballads of the famed Valentia the Bard and her Sylvan Songbird familiar, and plus the Fool's Guild be putting on a comedy shows nightly. There are free tickets with room stays of 2 days or more at half-price mutton joints every night before the new annum for those being renting a room. There's 2-for-1s and the other things that you can read on that. But
Yep.
That is the advertisement for the famous Strong Arm McGillen's, which I have a feeling you will come across again at some point in the future.
Half-price mutton joints. We have to go.
This is what we call foreshadowing.
Does anybody think this might be Ringo?
Don't know, but we can investigate that if we ever get to Darkenhaven.
Check his underwear and see if it's labeled.
Soaked in blood. Can't read it.
Ah! Curses.
Well, but with
Sorry
the
for
last
the
name that
underwear.
starts with a VD, Vlad, he must be a vampire.
I start to pick up the body so I can put it on the pony.
Okay. Body's pretty well shattered.
Yeah, you got to think the bones are sticking through it practically.
Yeah, we're talking gazpacho here. It's not a good idea to try to scoop that up.
Yeah, I don't think we need anything, from this body. I doubt we could even draw its face at this point, could we?
I will take that paper advertisement though, because that seems interesting to me.
Okay. You could probably draw his face. It looks like he fell on his back, but the body is pretty well shattered. If you, Quembar, you reach down to try and go ahead and move it, and it just gooey's all over the place. With blood just kind of draining out and shattered bones kind of making it sag. And you feel like probably better to leave it where it lies.
I'll be here for a few hours, guys. I got to mend each of these bones before I can pick them up.
Have fun.
All right, I give up.
It would be faster
Taking
just to
Churro
dig
with
a hole
us.
and scoop
You
him
don't
in.
get to-
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do?
I like the plan of digging a hole and scooping him in, or shuffling.
There are
him in
rocks
it.
that we can pile and make a bury him that way.
Yeah. I will say this: you guys find a way to be able to bury him without having to spend too much effort, whether that's bury or rocks. I don't know, but you do find a way to bury him. So give you
Okay.
that. So. And
I'm sure that beaver's going to be really mad at us for taking its dam.
So
Yeah.
with anything to do. So okay.
So I say we continue on, guys. Back the way we were
going on?
coming. I think at this point, we're a little too far north. I think we need to turn south.
Yes, we do. Get back on the path. Try to go the same way we came off.
So you guys get on the path then. continue this way.
Turn south. Good.
You do see that the path seems to get to a point to where it comes not too far from a creek, and knowing the general area and the map that you have, you feel as if it's probably that very same creek that you crossed on the bridge way back, and it's just kind of curving around, following the trail there towards the south. And as you get right to, let me ping right here. You get right to this area. Reveal some here. You notice that there's a ford. The path intersects a small ford across the creek, and the strange, oppressive dullness of the day seems to intensify as, at this point, a large cloud covers the soul. And suddenly, from out of the forest, the southwest of you, an unearthly, echoing wail howls through the trees. It's a fearful sound, mournful and unnerving. At the same time, it seems to be coming from the direction of the path across the ford. What do you do?
Yeah, we need to go south. I don't want to mess with that.
Zombies, skeletons, and werewolves. Oh
Oh
my!
my.
You think?
It's not a full moon, you know. I mean, it's probably just really big one, you know, normal wolves or something.
I think we should continue south. I
How much farther
assume
does
that we
our
can see
map
across
wanna
the. Can we see across the river? Are these trees here, or are these shrubbery?
There's a shrub and brush across from the river there, and then it turns into forest. Within about was that 25, 35-ish feet, something like that.
How much farther west were we supposed to be going, though? Like in the grand scale of things.
I think we're about
We just
as far
need to go
west as
straight
we need
south.
to go. Yeah, straight
Oh,
south.
we actually
Yeah.
need to go straight south.
Forget
Gore,
that. Yeah. Who
Since
cares
we're
about
going south along the edge of the creek here, though, and there's a ford there, keep an eye behind us. Keep your eye peeled.
it? I charged double for that.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm
Alright.
sure
And then-
Borag will pay it.
Kenan, yeah, that'll work. That's fine.
So,
yeah, go ahead and skip.
just quickly, the river, is it deep enough to swim across for any normal person?
Or is it shallow?
Yeah,
the ford
basically,
would be
how aggressive is this stream, river, whatever it is? Is it fast moving? Is it shallow? Is it deep?
It's relatively shallow, but you're also on the brink of winter, and so the water's quite cold, and you would get pretty wet and cold if you were trying to go across it. And it looks like it's moving at a fairly decent pace, and so you'd have to work your way across it. It would probably come up to your knees in some cases, the best you can tell.
Okay. So it's not a good barrier for something crossing, is what I'm getting after.
No, probably not.
All right, Quembar, you keep an eye on the forest that's to our left, and I'll keep an eye on the right.
I'll keep out ahead. Grorl.
And I got the pony.
Yeah, you got the pony fleeing.
As you guys are heading, yeah,
That
and you
means
guys
your
are keeping
cavalry.
an eye on watch on things. Who was watching the east?
I believe
towards the
that is
river.
me to my left.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Who else? Anybody?
Well, I'm scanning around everywhere ahead
Watching
of us.
all directions behind us.
Kimber, give me a perception check, please.
I'll watch both sides as well.
With Fleegan helping him, he's looking all around. Could he get?
Yeah, he gets- Yeah, you'll get advantage on that because you guys are kind of looking at stuff, and yeah, Kimber is really trying to keep an intent look on things, and he's distracted because of what happened with the man falling out of the skyship, and his mind is not focusing on what he's looking at, and the other that was helping him recognizes that he's just kind of kind of staring off blankly and kind of taps him on the shoulder to regain his focus. And as he regains his focus, you actually notice movement in brush. And you stop and you stare. And you notice peering out. You notice peering out of the thicket, you see a snarling face a few feet off the ground. And then you see more movement to either side of it. And then you say something that you were just saying. And as you were saying that, it quickly disappears. What do you do?
If I didn't get their attention, I'll do it again. A little louder.
You got
There's
it.
Fliggin! Look!
Can you cast light on one of the rocks and throw into the trees?
What? More rabbit squirrels?
I quickly pick up a rock and focus my magic on the rock and then toss it out there.
Okay. So you light up a rock and you throw it into the trees. The trees and the brush are really thick at this point, and so it just kind of disappears in there, and you see a little bit of the rays of the light, but it disappears down into the undergrowth, and it doesn't really do anything that you would expect it to do to try and illuminate the area, because it is pretty thick brush, and brambles and briars are starting to kind of grow up in these areas that make it quite a bit thicker than it has been to this point.
How dark is it over there anyway, Casey?
Well, because the big thick cloud just kind of came over and obscured the soul, it got a lot darker. So think about a relatively bright day, winter day, turning quite dull and gray with a thick storm cloud.
And what time of day
You could
is it?
say
Right now?
desaturated.
It's late morning, probably 11 bells, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, between 10 and 11 bells. You guys were up pretty early, and then you spent some time in the cottage. So between 10 and 11 bells at this point.
Now I need to ask, when I saw that, could I hear anything, or was it more visual and almost like couldn't hear? It was so silent.
It was uncharacteristically quiet, but it was definitely you saw movement. I mean, it was moving the brush, but it must know the brush well because it kept it from making really any noise.
So ready yourselves. I make sure I've got my shield on good and my mace in my hands.
Knock an arrow.
All right, what do you guys
Raxel
want
at the ready.
to do?
Let's continue south, yep.
Be a little more here. All right. So
There's signs of the pony having passed this way already before.
give me a survival check. See if you can see any tracks or recognize tracks from the. Yeah, the whatever's in the dirt of the road
It's dirt.
really indicate that you could tell that the pony may have passed this direction. And is Fleegan riding the pony, or what's Fleegan doing? Is he just leading it on?
Leading it.
You're just leading it. Okay. All right. Okay, so it looks like the trail heads to the south and then starts to go around a bend towards the west there.
What's the pony's attitude now, too, compared to before when it was, kind of hanging its head and?
It's pretty docile. It seems to be very submissive to you all, and it's not real despondent by any means, but it's just docile. It's just kind of follows in and realizes that you're its people at this point.
We're getting real close, according to Borag's map. We're getting real close to the willow, so
Yeah.
let's move on, and if necessary, we can defend from that point. If we get attacked before then, cool. If not, then they'll probably come at us by the time we get there.
I'll have you go ahead and move.
Do we have any way for somebody to get closer to it that is like silent or more unseen too? And that's all kind of rushing it.
Get closer to what?
The
To
willow.
the willow, yeah,
Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourselves about how you want to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Borag has the ring, and he knows what to say. So, or I'm sorry,
Theros.
Theros.
I was like, boy, here, so that won't help. But
Yep. But
Do we have
Zeus
any,
has the ring and everything, so
we have any kind of stealthy, spyish kind of? I guess. I mean, send Fleegan without Churro,
we
of course,
can,
because Churro's important. But
I'm not bad at it.
when we get there, I can investigate the.
yeah, I definitely think we
surrounding
should do that.
areas.
We should stop from far away that we could watch somebody try to approach it and
Yeah,
investigate.
let's make sure that all of us can be close enough to see it, though. So.
And I don't think Kenna should probably be the one who investigates it because you're like the only other archer. And you and I would be the only ones who could try to support that person. Generally, at least.
I'll do it. I'm the close-in guy.
No, I'll do it. I'm better sneaking than you are.
Very well.
That is true.
Theros can't sneak up on anything in midnight even, so I don't think that should be the case.
But I just steamroll them.
Hey, if this is a
But just
wild
wait till you-
animal, if this is a wild animal, maybe we should get a torch or something going. If they're scared off that easy.
How high did you say the head was? The eyes?
Well, I think my imagination sort of went too far with it, but it was a few feet off the ground, so pretty big.
If it's an animal that's big enough to have eyes that are a few feet off the ground, and it's a predatory animal, fire from a single torch is not going to do much, in my opinion.
I concur.
So you guys are walking along the
Yep.
the path as you're discussing what your next moves might be, and as you're kind of discussing this, not talking too loud because you're also looking at the forest, intently concerned about something jumping out to get you because of what Quembar saw there.
Yeah.
You probably missed it at first because you were talking, but then you all begin to recognize that there has been a steadily building rumbling sound coming from the east, and it begins to rapidly grow louder.
Rumbling like water rushing harder.
Rumbling
There's
as
one
and you kind of feel it more before you hear it or you recognize it, and you hope it isn't a band of marauders coming to attack, but instead, suddenly thundering out of the trees is a large herd of elk. They are panicked and they charge straight for you.
Okay, I will.
Several of the beasts screech as you can see that they seem to be in utter panic, fleeing some unseen danger. So what did you say you were going to do there?
I'm going to try to move to where there's a tree between me and them.
Or we'll help Fleegan save Churro as well. We'll
Yeah, find some cover.
push Churro out of the path. And help restrain Churro as well.
Lincoln's going to say, "Elephant stampede!"
Elephant?
Well, when you're the size of a gnome, everything's an elephant.
If he had said elkophant, I would be laughing still right now.
Well, yeah,
Elephant.
too late.
Okay, so no, it's not this. No, I need to be on the right layer. Okay, that one will. Okay, here they come. So they're heading right towards Quembar there. What do you do, Quembar? I was reading. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Quembar,
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you ask me?
what do you do? They're heading. There's 3 elk with a number of them behind them crashing out of the forest.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is they're going to come in waves. So they're heading right towards you. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna try to climb.
Try and climb up into a tree.
Yeah, run and climb a tree. If I have to, jump in the river.
Overall, getting out of the way, trying to climb up out of the way.
Yeah, find some cover. behind a tree or swing my axe to try to get them to bypass me somehow.
All right. Okay. And then Fleegan, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to lead Churro around to a tree and try to hide behind the tree as they run by.
All right. And Gore, what are you gonna do?
I'm making sure that Churro is safe and possibly Fleegan as well as I help secure Churro.
Thanks. I feel the love, man.
I suppose Fleegan.
And then Kenna, what are you gonna do?
Really worried about the pony.
Yeah, I'm going to move behind a tree that's wider than me, which isn't hard to find. Some saplings are bigger than me. And I'm going to keep an eye and make sure that if any of the elk look like they're about to target one of my friends, I'm going to shoot them with my bow.
Okay. Theros, you're kind of probably too big to hide behind a tree. What are you gonna do?
I will try to be athletic, and as they come towards me, I will attempt to use my axe to swing them to go to one direction, and I'll jump to the opposite side and try to dance through them as they come at me.
Okay. All right.
New class, axe dancer.
Big axe with the Graxel. All right, Kimber, you're up. I want you to give me an athletics check to see if you can grab a tree branch and kind of swing up out of the way, because you're first in line there. All right.
Damn.
You jump up and grab a tree branch and pretty nimbly kind of swing your legs up as the elk that are coming towards you pass just barely underneath. Fleegan, you try and get behind a tree with Chiro. I want you to give me a stealth check, please. All right. You're able to see a tree in kind of a hollow that would be perfect for you to kind of push the pony in, and you swing yourself very quietly up into the saddle and turn her butt around to the tree on the opposite side of the elk coming along, and you guys face the opposite direction as you hear the thunder of the elk go running by. Gror. Tell me again what it was you were doing. I'm sorry.
I was saving the pony.
You were saving the pony. Okay. You jump under the pony's legs at this point, hoping that there is some way to protect yourself and protect the pony. And it's up behind the tree. So go ahead and give me a animal handling check, please.
Can I make sure what you said, Casey? Because I think you just said I'm gonna hide under the pony.
Yes, you're gonna hide under the pony. You're small enough. You can do it. Because you're trying to help hide it and calm it. So you slip up underneath.
I was hoping to try to get the pony to lay down and almost protect it. Is more like kind of where I was kind of going to, if we could get it that far, out of the path.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll make it lay down, although Fleegan's sitting on top of it, so we'll let you kind of cover it too. So give me an animal handling check.
Oh God! All right. Well, this probably won't work, but
if you have inspiration.
That's true.
16's not bad.
I'll stick with the 16.
It's not bad. So what happens is, you're able to kind of get up behind it a little bit, and it does a pretty good job of knowing what it is that you want, and doesn't seem threatened by you all, a little bit confused as to what it is exactly you're trying to do, but you're able to get out of the way. So Kenna, you're trying to I know you were going to shoot it if it didn't do what you wanted to do. What is it you want to do?
I'm going to dodge behind trees. So
dodge trees. Okay. Through acrobatics, please.
Yes. I will go ahead and burn my gooey reward of advantage on an ability check.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Because
So-
instead of an 8, I crit that.
Yeah, you did, which is probably a good thing. Okay, so there goes that advantage on ability check, and you are able to kind of dance around to a tree as another one's come in your direction, and you kind of flip over behind another tree, and you just kind of weave your way through the stampede as it comes, kind of dodging them as they're coming through. Theros is trying to just direct
them away.
traffic. You know, he's going to be the traffic cop here. So,
Axel
what's
says
a good-
stop on one side, slow on the
let me
other.
ask you guys, what's a good traffic cop skill? I'm trying to think. Intimidation, maybe. How about intimidation?
I can do
Of course,
intimidation.
if he's trying to shove them to either side using the flat of his axe, that could be athletics too. So
Or animal handling, even still too. You know, like
More maybe. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't know. I'm thinking. Okay,
we,
so
we couldn't rule out survival technically.
Well, I have, intimidation, athletics are what I do.
yep.
yeah. So let's go ahead and let's do intimidation there, Theros. And, I think that's the most appropriate thing, which works. So you get up there and you kind of make yourself big, which you are already big. But, you spread your shoulders out and you grab the Graxel and you kind of put it out there and you just assert your dominance of the elk as they're thundering on by, and they recognize you as a dominant figure and one that they wouldn't go stampeding even though they are pretty panicked, and that wave goes on by. Okay, so it kind of stumbles on this way. It doesn't. Yeah, I guess they do go thundering through the creek as they go on by. We're now going to do that again, but I'm not going to narrate it as such. It's just going to be a similar thing unless you guys feel like you want to change your action. But I'm going to bring in. Okay, let me just do this here. Go ahead and bring in others. We'll bring in the other wave of 3. So, Quembar, give me that athletics check again.
Oh no.
Okay, you're able to get out of the way. So, again, go ahead and continue with your stealth if you're wanting to continue to just hide behind the tree. Yep, that worked quite well. Gror, your protection, animal handling, to keep the horse from freaking out and stepping in the way of the elk and dragging you with it.
Would my intimidation work better then?
Want to change to intimidation? You can make an intimidation
know.
check to try and intimidate the
I want
elk.
to
It's your
scare
choice.
poor Churro though. I mean, it's probably a much better roll though. What is animal handling based off of?
Wisdom, I think. If I'm right.
Yep.
I'm a little more charismatic, so I'll go for the intimidation. Try to, more like parental scare it to stay down than threaten that I was about to hurt it myself, kind of.
Sure.
Kind
That
of
would
a-
probably be more of a persuasion check, actually. Persuasion than intimidation.
Now I need to take it back to animal handling, basically. Darn it. I
Just
have
intimidated and get the roll over.
Oh. Okay, I'm intimidating it.
All right. Well, that works. You're fine. Okay.
It's just
Can I give me your athletics? Or no, I'm sorry, acrobatics. Acrobatics.
Yeah.
Ooh, Kenna, you try and dance your way through this time, and it doesn't happen. So you're going to get rammed by one of them.
Actually, she's gonna get elked.
Think laugh.
I do not think that hits.
I've got mage armor still up because it lasts for 8 hours. So yeah, I've got a 22
Okay, so it hits
or
your
20.
mage.
I'm sorry, a 20.
Yeah, it hits your mage armor and kind of bounces off of that magical.
By the way, your rolls did not appear.
Okay, that's fine. Let me change that. real
All the
quick. There
better.
we go. And then Theros, give me your intimidation check. Okay. Theros growls even louder, and the elk move out of the way. So, wave 2 goes on by with Kenna getting hit, but the elk bounces off without doing any damage. Wave 3 comes in. Quembar, give me an athletics check. Quembar. Crest, you make? Did we lose you?
No, I'm still here. You need me to roll something again?
Yeah, athletics check, please. Wave 3.
Wave 3. Yep.
All right. You're able to jump your
Good Cube gives me
way
a.
and swing through the trees like a monkey on a branch. Give me a stealth check there, Fleegan. Fleegan continues to hide. Give me whatever check you want to give me there, Gror. Gror. There it is.
Oh,
Okay. You were trying to kind of keep everything calm and even try and make it to where you're better than the elk, but the elk, too many of them come thundering that direction, and one goes to ram and charge into you. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that.
there you go. That's
But you're still able to kind of get up underneath it, and it doesn't hit you. So, Kenna, give me your acrobatics check. That's going to be enough to just barely get out of the way, and Theros
good enough.
intimidation check.
Theros is AFK. So
Theros is AFK. Okay,
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and roll for him then. Intimidation is right there, and he continues with his streak of being able to tell the elk what's up.
of being scary.
And with a mighty groar. Wait,
That's awesome. All right, Quembar, give me one more athletics
Oh,
check.
jeez!
For wave 4.
There's a lot of elk. It's a herd of elk.
yeah.
Like, thank you, gives me a.
How come when I go elk hunting, I never
Whoa.
see a herd this big?
All right,
My legs start to dangle.
you don't get out of the way this time, but you happen to manage to just kind of kick it out of the way as it kind of smacks into you, so it doesn't do any damage. And then, Fleegan, give me a stealth check to see if you continue to hide well behind that tree. Okay. They kind of snort as they go on by and don't see you, and so
As long as they don't slobber on me, I'm okay.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of slobber gets on you, but
Gross.
you always get the stuff on you, don't you? Gror, go ahead and give me whatever action you're wanting to take there.
I mean, I'm mainly just still trying to protect Churro.
You can do animal handling. You can do, if you want to continue with your forcefully trying to keep it protected. Yeah, no, that doesn't work either. It kind of kicks and bumps at you. It doesn't like what you're doing, and it kind of kicks you out into the way of an elk. And so the elk goes to run into you, but you kind of bounce off of it, and it doesn't do any damage. It bounces off of your armor, basically. So can it give me a acrobatics check, please? Okay. Kenna, they're swarming around you too.
Oh
much.
my
You can't get
gosh.
out of the way. But because I guess of your mage armor, it bounces off of that pretty little bubble that you have up. Is that correct? Yeah, because you're up to a 20, you said, right?
Yes, yeah, I got a 20. It's a plus 3 to armor class. My normal armor class is 17.
All right. Well, it bounces off you there. So, Theros, are you back?
I have returned.
Okay, go ahead and give me your final intimidation check and see if you can do 4. No, you cannot. Your voice kind of gives out and you crack a little bit. And, they decide that you're running into. And
We're
they
not.
miss any. They bounce off of the wagon wheel there, and off they go into the brush. So
Sure, we have giant snakes who attack us and eat us. But the elk can't seem to bounce off of our
somebody's got their mic open with a TV on in the background or something like
Yeah. Excellent, huh?
that.
Oh.
All right, so the elk go running on by, and this big stampede of waves goes running on by. So they're past you now, but they're not too far away for you to do anything if you want.
Nope, because I'm not dragging an elk carcass all the way back to camp. So I'm going to continue to watch in the direction that they came from because they seemed frightened. And I want to make sure that if there's something chasing them, that we're prepared for it.
Okay.
Definitely, that's what the risk is what ran after them. Can you take Chirp up a tree with you, Fligan, please?
All right. So the elk move then on back into the forest on the other side of the river, and you kind of hear the thundering dissipate as they go away. And you guys are watching intently to see if anything comes out of the trees towards you. And for a few moments as they thunder away, you're standing there at the ready, waiting for something to happen. Just as you're pretty sure the coast is closed.
that was close, guys. That could have been an elk-catastrophe.
Fleegan starts to run his mouth.
Yep.
And you look at each other, think, huh, Fleegan's right. And nothing comes out of the tree's edge. So.
Huh.
All right.
Wait a minute. When has Fleegan ever been right?
Well, we'll chalk that one up.
Can't be good.
We'll have to.
Cut me to the elk.
We'll have to remember to tell that story at the campfire tonight.
Yes.
The time Fleegan was correct.
Let's continue on, guys. Let's
Yep.
get this taken care of and get out of here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you guys move. Kenna can probably move right up to there if she's taking point, and
Yep.
you guys can gather in that location, and I'll let you guys stay there, but I'll reveal a little bit more because you can see a little farther. Looks like the trail kind of heads off into the trees, and the river kind of starts to make a little bit of a bend.
This looks right. This looks right.
As you come around the bend there, and you see that the trail starts to kind of head back towards the trees. You look about at the shadowy trees in the cold forest, and suddenly an old man with dirty, disheveled hair and ragged clothes emerges from the trees on the trail in front of you. He's covered in scratches and has a pronounced limp. And hoarsely, he calls out to you, "Please, help me, please. I was attacked." Oh. What do you do?
I start.
Boots.
I start scanning the woods around us.
We already have a pony. I think this guy's too late at this point, right? I definitely think we should still be worried about what scared the elk much more.
We need to help this man.
All right. Well, as you guys are talking about keeping wary of things, and Thero says we should watch this man, he suddenly kind of collapses to the ground, and he kind of falls down on one knee, and he's just whimpering
Theros,
there on the trail.
Theros, you and Quembar attend to him. I will cover you.
Quick, send
All
in
right.
the medic. Groar.
Grover's not willing to do that until Kimber says he can't, and Grover will be watching with bow and arrow as well.
So where's the guy on the map?
Right there.
Can you ping it?
Kimber's going to go over to give him medical attention.
And I'll go there to provide close support.
All right. All right. So as you approach the poor old man, a relieved smile spreads across his wrinkled face. He says, "Oh, thank you. Such kind road folk you are. If you could just give me some bandages and a bite to eat." And you see his countenance change suddenly as he ends his sentence with, "A bite to eat."
Yep.
Suddenly, a viciously hungry light flashes in his eyes, and without warning, the old man's haggard form sprouts tufts of dark fur and wickedly sharp claws, and he takes on an aspect of something between a dog and a bear. He growls deeply, and he lunges at you, and is soon joined by other bestial forms charging out of the undergrowth towards your position. And you are not surprised because you were ready, because you are watching. So go ahead and give me some initiative, my friends.
Select your token.
Ooh, I've never rolled that good.
Wow. Are you sure
Wow.
we didn't surprise them?
That is not cleric initiative, sir.
Wow, we got some really good ones. Yeah.
Do you have pictures of these poor monsters?
Do we have pictures of these poor monsters? Why? Yes.
Actually, let me
We
rephrase
do.
that. Do you have pictures of these very rich monsters?
Extremely
Yikes.
wealthy ones.
That's like a werebear mixed with a beaver.
Or a werverine.
Werverines. Werverines!
All right. So, friends, let's see what we got here for initiative. All right. Theros, what do you do?
Well, I think Kenna rolled higher than I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 22
I
there.
was looking-
Yep.
Okay, so it's Kenna first, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's a fairly wide path and everything, so you guys can
Yep,
get
yep.
around each other too. Just keep that in mind.
Because now we're back to these squares being about 5 foot
Yes.
wide. Okay.
Yep. And there's enough room to maneuver. So there's probably a good,
Okay.
probably a
think we
good
should-
50 feet between the trees on either side of the path. So
I think we should have jumped on the back of one of the elks and rode them away.
Not a bad option, actually. That's I am going to shoot the one that was an old man with my arrow, with my bow.
okay, all right, that would be that one right there.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me
Oh!
a minute. It's gonna fling right on by and anything else?
That was close.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move up to here, supporting them with range.
Right.
I will move in if I need to.
Okay, Theros, you're up.
This one's going to die.
It doesn't have
It
any
only
legs.
has 2 feet, 2 legs.
well, if their arms are also legs, then we do have 4 times. That's 12.
And if you count all the elk they were chasing, then that's dozens.
And maybe if you count the tails as legs.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you give a mighty swing at that one, and you bury your axe in his chest for how much damage?
Not
Light
the
on the
best,
damage.
but light on damage, but
Tastes great, less killing.
All right. Anything else you want to do there?
nope. I'm just going to prepare for them to come after me.
All right, Quembar, you're up.
Man,
The old man is right in your face with his transformation.
I know I want to like burning hands him twice or something like that, but I don't know if I could do that with adrenaline.
Actually, it says that in that, right? It says you can burn them twice with like a fireball.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Good. Is Burning Hand a cantrip or a spell?
It's a spell I
It's
have.
an action. Yeah.
You would
But,
spend 2 spell slots, but yes, you could
Yeah,
do
I
one
don't
now,
like-
and then you could do one at the end of the initiative round.
Maybe I don't want to do that. I am the cleric after all.
Yeah, but a burning hand certainly wouldn't hurt right now.
Well, I'll do one then. I'll start off with the burning hands.
You're gonna cast Burning Hands. Well, let me go get the cone here.
The cone of shame. He puts
And
the
you
cone
know
of
what? At
shame
this
on them.
point-
So you're going
At
to
this
take these
point,
where
if we set the forest on fire, I'm okay. There's plenty of bad things in this forest.
make those werverines into werverines.
All right. So is that a saving throw?
Yeah, I believe it's Dex.
Okay. That is gonna save
14.
for 14. I'm gonna put that in your token. I didn't have that there. Okay. So the first one's gonna save. So the one in front of you saves. Say that this one does not save. And then the one up next to Theros does not there. So, okay. So what do we got there?
3d6.
3d6. Fire damage.
Burn 'em, light them up, sweet cheeks. Okay, where's the roll? Come
Oh,
on,
it didn't put damage in there. Huh.
come on. Where's
Click
the
on
roll?
where it says burning hands. That's just the attack. No, on the. There you go.
I'll get it someday.
All right, so 11 to the ones who failed.
Yeah.
Isn't that the hit to hit?
Yeah, that's a
11.
hit roll.
That's a to
That's
hit roll.
Yeah.
So hit the burning hands on the bottom there that says +6.
In the chat there. Chris, in the chat there. Click on
Oh,
where it says.
okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Alright, I'll get it someday.
So 9 to the 2 that failed. And half that to the old man.
Alright, well, Quembar's not too happy with that, being that the one in front of him looks unscathed. He wasn't really watching the other two so much.
Well, it does kind of singes for a little bit, and he growls out in frustration, and it's actually their turn. And the old man wants a bite to eat, and he's going to try and take that bite at this point. So, and he
I'm gonna
does
flare him.
Ouch.
flare him. Tell me what that does again. I know what you're talking about.
My warding flare allows me to hit somebody within 30 feet of me with a flare in their face, causing light to flare before the attacker before it hits or misses. An attacker that can't be blinded is immune to this feature. Can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom. So it's an
Okay, so it's a-
interposing divine light.
So what's his save? Does he make a save or no? Does he have to make a saving throw?
Oh, I see. It's a disadvantage on his attack. Sorry.
Oh, disadvantage on his attack. Okay, so that means that the light flashed as he went to bite you, and he missed. Okay. And that's one attack. And that's one attack, right? Or,
Yes.
okay. So he lashes out with his claws as he screeches from the light that flashed in his eyes as his maw was about ready to clamp down right on the side of your head. And he reels back and takes his claw and just slashes right across the side of your head, doing 8 slashing damage.
Ouch.
Ow.
Not pleasant.
I hope he's done.
Okay. So the one next to Theros is going to see if he can have lunch off of that big meaty body that's standing in front of him. And he goes to bite Theros and is unable to get around your shield as he tries to get in there, but he reaches around with his claw and
Ooh, crit.
Oh,
Ow.
so he will have advantage on all of his attacks moving forward against you, and you take 11 slashing damage from that slash of his claw.
Until the end of his next turn. Dang it.
This one moves on around to right here, and beside his friend there, and like a pack of Wolverines, tries to pack up on Quembar, and he's ready for some lunch as well. And so he goes to give a bite and misses, probably from the residual light of the flare simultaneously, and so he flings his claw around. Gonna roll. There it is, and the impact of the claw across the top of Quembar knocks him kind of off to the side a little bit, and the other Wolverine misses with its claw as well. So that is what they are going to do. Fleegan, you're up.
I will move here and I will throw a dagger at the old man.
And that will give you sneak attack damage because you have a friend who is engaged.
yes.
Nice. 22.
So max damage.
12
Wow.
points.
Okay, so you roll a 12 plus sneak attack.
Yeah, actually 12 total. I'm sorry. Not quite
6
max.
6 plus 12. 6 plus 6 with the.
Oh, that's the other. Oh, the one below it. Okay, I see.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wasn't reading it right. Oh my gosh. So that dagger, the old man you hit. Right. That dagger found the sweet spot, and just a big gush of blood comes out as the dagger just stabs him right in the right spot, and kind of spins him around a little bit, and he howls. That blood curdling howl that you heard before kind of comes from him. All right, anything else, Fleegan?
Can I throw my offhand even though I'm holding the reins for the horse?
You'd have to drop the reins.
I'll drop the reins.
Okay. Yes, you can. Drop.
And I'm going to throw at the old man again.
Okay. That's going to hit as well. Really? How is that?
The 1d6, he did max 6 plus 4 on the dex.
Nice.
They're dangerous daggers. What can I say?
Look at that. Okay, all right. The old man. Well, okay.
That's for biting my friend.
With that shot of the dagger, you see Fleeting go over there, and he was not happy about what he saw happen to Quembar, and he takes a dagger, fling. It reaches back, it snarls, and he flings the other dagger, and it catches it right in the throat. And you hear a gurgling echo of the howl as he crumples to the ground dead.
Eat that.
No kidding. Wow. Good one-liner.
Hope it's not on
Thank you.
the menu tonight.
All right, taking anything else?
No, that's me.
All right, Grower, you're up.
Does the body of the old man switch back to an old man, or does it stay this monster?
Yes, it begins to slowly transform back into the body of the old man.
Lycanthropes
Okay.
or shapeshifters.
All
Okay,
right,
so
Grower.
how much can I move before I shoot? And is there a clearer shot on the one at the south end of the map?
Because of the proximity where you guys were coming around, you can pretty much move. You
Yeah,
consider,
you can move your full distance, full speed.
yeah, which I think your speed is 125. I think. 5, yeah. So you can move 5 squares.
Okay. So I'll move up there to kind of like palm the pony as much as that'll help, like steer it away or something. Take a shot at the one to the south.
Okay. That going to hit 4 piercing damage. Okay. All right. Any other action, bonus action?
I'll try to grab the pony to pick up his reins with my
Yeah.
drawing hand.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're able to actually pick up the reins at that point. And it seems surprisingly calm considering what's going on. Although you can tell it's bothered by the scene in front of it. So. All right. Were you going to burn that gooey reward and take another action, Quembar, or no?
Oh, no, I had decided not to until I almost dropped, and
Okay.
I guess I'm still not going to.
All right, Kenna, then you're up.
All right. Well, the bow is not doing me very good, so I'm just going to go ahead and cantrip the hell out of the one up here with a firebolt. Ah!
All right. You
I
go to
don't
take
think
a
I
shot.
can hit anything tonight.
The dice are not
Firebolt, it
different.
goes flying on by. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Theros, you're up.
Smash.
And smash you do. And bash. For how much damage? Ooh,
12.
12.
Almost as the same as a dagger.
With sneak attack.
Swing, bada, bada, bada.
You
Swing,
can bash that thing
bada.
right up the head. But it's still up. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Quembar.
All right, well, I'm going to Sacred Flame, the one that's most injured. I believe that's the one to the north. And then do a healing word on Theros as a bonus action.
That is a
They're
wonderful
both,
spell.
They're both the Sacred Flame is a cantrip.
Yeah, it's a cantrip, takes 1 action. The other one's first level bonus action.
Just you can't cast 2 spells in the same turn, but you can do it cantrip. So go ahead. Yep. Okay, the Sacred Flame is gonna miss.
Sure.
And then for your heal, for your healing. Make sure you're keeping track of your spell slots as you go.
Oh, I clicked the healing word, but didn't do anything.
Yeah, it may not. You may have to. Did you do it off of your main character sheet under your actions?
Yeah, I guess
I
some
think
reason
I
it's
want
not
you to
set
enter
right.
a level.
Does it?
You want
does
to
it
cast
you
it as
to
first,
enter-
second, or third level.
Do you see a little pop up on your screen?
Okay, there it was.
So
Cool.
8 healing. Who?
Theros.
Theros.
All right. So Quembar, that would be.
Thank you much.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Kismia smiles upon you. So I'm gonna have this one right here. Is going to viciously attempt to take a bite out of Theros and will for 4 piercing damage. And then he's going to and then he's going to try and slash you with his claw at the same time. It's going to miss. This one down here is going to see if he can still continue to get lunch off of Quembar.
I'll
and
flare that one.
Ouch.
Slash. That was not his bite. That was his slash. That was 8 slashing damage. And you're going to flare that one?
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah.
That misses. How many times can you do that?
Wisdom
It's,
modifier a day.
it's actually a lot.
Well, these characters are so OP. That's why you're not second level yet.
Yeah.
I know we're almost equivalent to that though.
You're actually equivalent to 3rd level, really.
Almost, yeah.
So he missed. Well, he's going to try and take a bite out of you anyway. And,
Oh, I'll block that with my shield.
Nice.
You,
Got lucky.
he misses. All right. Well, Fleegan, you're up.
Throw him at the one that's attacking Quembar.
That is not going to hit.
Yeah.
That one is going to hit.
That one's going to crit.
So give me a crit roll. So that's 6 piercing damage, and then tell me what you get on the.
Don't forget sneak attack.
Oh, you know what? I need to back up and check something because this one actually had advantage on Theros, and he.
Oh, that's right.
He still only got a 12/16, so.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. Okay. All right. So roll on the weapon crit table there for me. Okay, and he goes down prone, so you guys have advantage on him.
And I still get a sneak attack with that.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, right?
So roll
One,
that
yeah.
damage. 5 more damage.
So 11 total.
He goes down. He's bleeding pretty good out of his side from all of the stab wounds in him. Anything else, Fleegan?
That's it for me.
Okay.
I was checking it. That was my last flare. I've used 4 today.
All right, Goro, you're up.
I'll shoot the same one to the south.
Okay.
He is prone, so ranged attacks are at disadvantage, but
Oh, yeah, because he's prone. Yeah, because he's on the ground, that's right. But he still hits. So go ahead and roll damage. All right. That arrow is going to do enough damage to take him down, and he flops to the ground dead.
nice.
Anything more? Movement or anything?
I want to pull Churro up to his corpse and try to pull my arrows out, hopefully recovering them.
All right, you can move up to that point and do that. That's fine. Okay. All right, then Kenna, you're up.
Burn down the forest.
Here, let's just do this because this is fun. You. Oh no, sorry.
Nice.
No.
And she screams, Jinx's balls!
That's great.
Jinx is jangling balls.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Anything else, Kenna?
No, that's pretty much me. So
Oh, other than the scream. All right, Theros, you're up.
Can we see anything to the
let's-
south?
Let's do the
Uh,
final smash.
Because you're actually just in this corridor of trees. And so you see that the trail actually curves towards the south. That's it. Okay, you take a swing with your axe and you're going to miss.
Yep.
It nimbly jumps out of the way.
Quembar, you got to. Yeah, no, Quembar, you got to kill this thing before it gets to attack us again.
All right, Quembar, you're up.
I move up next to Theros and block him with my shield and swing with my mace.
Okay.
Hey, Theros, are you 7 hit points again?
Oh,
No, I'm at
No.
16.
16.
Oh, on my screen it shows. Oh, that must be mine that it's showing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you're the one that's hurt. You should have healed yourself.
Okay.
Heal up.
I thought you were at 7 when I healed you. It's funny.
I was at 12.
Take your swing there, sir.
Swinging with
All right.
Homesteader.
Yeah. Your homesteader there is going to crack that thing upside the head for how much damage? And kill it.
Oh, yes.
The mighty Quembar.
Yes. How many times? How many? You finish things off with your mace all the time.
I don't know. I don't know.
Old man and the cottage and everything.
Every time I use a sacred flame, I like miss or something. So I gotta go back to the mace.
Oh, right. Well, you guys successfully take care of the werverines there.
Loot the bodies.
And you guys go to check the bodies, and they all transform back into humans with tattered clothes and such like that. But there's nothing of value on them other than torn, tattered remnants of clothing, tufts of fur. So
I get my arrows,
I'd like to get my daggers back.
and I huffily move back towards the south to take point.
Hey, Kimber. Could it be the eyes that you were looking at earlier?
you broke up.
Uh,
Woke up.
I think so.
I hope so, because I don't know what else is out there.
You're breaking up pretty bad.
Yep.
Lovely.
All right, I think that might be a little bit better. Go ahead and say what you're
Yep.
going to say.
Oh, I was just making some points that I hope these were the eyes that were staring at Quembar and me and the pony.
I think so. I hope so.
Okay, so you guys come around the bend there, and you kind of come to the end of the path, and there is a lot of brambles and bushes there at the end of the path. That you look and you can kind of see that there's probably a fairly large clearing that you get the impression is most likely the destination you're looking for, and you're going to have to push yourself through the brambles. And so as you do there, Kenna, with one final push, you break through the brush in front of you, and you stumble into a large open glade that, by your guess, looks to be about 100 feet or so across at its widest point. And the trampled brown grass crunches a bit under your steps as you can hear a quietly babbling brook snaking its way through the clearing. In the center of the clearing stands a huge gnarled willow tree that has likely stood here watching the world pass by for hundreds of annums. And a thin layer of frost still clings to the leafless vines that hang from its branches. Sparkling rainbows glitter off of the millions of tiny ice crystals, crusting the dangling tendrils of the tree.
Oh, I'm
What do you
definitely.
do?
First of all, I say I think we're here, guys, and I take a mental picture of that because that's gorgeous, and I keep an eye out, waiting for Torag to come up and do his thing at the tree.
Theros.
Theros, sorry.
I was so going to climb up in that tree, but not after looking at this picture.
All right. So, what do you do there? Kenna told me what he was doing. What are you guys doing?
All right, I'll walk up to the tree, making sure to scan everything around. I mean, obviously it's a big clearing, so anything that comes out of the trees we'll be able to see for quite a distance.
All right, give me
But
a
I'll
perception-
walk up to it.
Okay, give me a perception check then.
How's the pony reacting to this?
That's a crit.
I see everything.
The pony is very calm and just kind of, you're still holding on to the reins there, I think, and it's just kind of just hanging out. But it's a pretty good pony, well trained. Somebody took a lot of effort to train this thing, because it knows that you're a boss, and it's quite content with your lead. So
I think that pony's going to serve our troop very well.
So you remember the strong words because it was a very powerful moment when your father entrusted you with this quest and handed you the Bravda ring, and you knew and remembered and just had a full recollection of that moment, and it come back to you as clear as day. Trying to find the knothole in the tree and knowing exactly what you're looking for, and immediately you see about 4 feet off the ground the tiny symbol of Jinx carved into the wood there, and you know that that's where you take the ring and speak the words at the tree. So do you remember the words? If not, I'll tell them to you because you remember.
Tell them to me because it's been a while since we played.
The words are freedom lies in truth.
That's right. Freedom lies in truth as I hold the ring next to the tree.
The knot appears to dissolve away, revealing an opening that is about as deep as the knot is wide. And you see inside a single blue veil marked scroll in the cavity, along with a number of other scrolls that had been marked for some of the other troops. What do you do?
I take out only the one with the blue veil, and I place the one that my father asked us to place in.
I think there might have been
Several.
There are
3
several.
in the
Right.
ring.
Yep. Okay. You place 2 in there, and you take out the one, and then as you do so, the knot reveals itself again on the side of the tree, hiding the scrolls inside. I would like Quembar to give me a perception check, please. As he is doing this, you see a small glint further up in the branches catch your attention.
Okay, I say, look out, there's something else in the tree. What is that?
When he says that, Ken immediately pulls the arrow and gets ready to shoot.
And as you do that, and you look up there and you kind of take aim to potentially shoot at whatever, you see that it actually looks like an amulet is hanging from a branch just a little farther up in the tree that you could easily reach up and grab, or Theros can. He's tall enough to just kind of reach up and grab if he'd like to.
Yay, more jewelry.
I will do so. I will take it down and inspect.
Sorry, after
Man,
that,
you're gonna look like Mr. T after the end of all this.
I'm a bit jumpy after the werewolves.
Yeah.
All right, you reach up and grab the amulet, and you immediately recognize it as something special. That's what it is that you find. Treasure!
Cool.
More treasure.
We weren't told to take any treasure from the tree, though.
We weren't told not to.
don't want to be
After what you think. So I'll inspect and
instead. It doesn't deserve it or shouldn't have it.
Quembar, Kenna, do you guys recognize these markings?
Take a look.
Maybe we can roll whatever with advantage with the three of us looking at it.
Oh, you guys know what it does.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you immediately recognize what it is and what it can do.
Stout Heart Amulet, +1 Constitution to who while wearing.
Wow. Okay.
It's also a maroon thing, so I think we ought to give it to Quembar.
There's only one maroon thing I want.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys can decide amongst yourself who scores that. But yeah, that's what you find. And as you're doing that, you recognize over here to the south of the clearing something moving in the top of the trees, about 30 yards up away from your location.
It's a frickin' eagle, isn't it?
Is it a white squirrel with a mustache?
It is not a white squirrel with a mustache. And is it an eagle? Well, it's got feathers. But
Yeah, it's
to
probably
your
a hawk.
surprise, as you ready yourself for trouble, you see that the creature is the most colorful rooster-like bird that you have ever seen. It glitters gold and crimson and sable in the sunlight, and its magnificent plumage of its tail hangs nearly 3 times the length of its body, and it crows musically before disappearing into the branches once.
It's like a cross between a phoenix and a rooster.
Phoenix rooster.
A faux
A booster?
Or a cockatrice.
Rooster.
Could be a cockatrice too.
Cockatrice
do?
turn you to stone.
What do you do?
Do I know any of do I know what the heck that was?
You can
Uh,
make
that-
Arcana
can-
checks.
Can we all confer on that? Since we all saw it. Arcana. Ooh.
You have actually heard of these.
Okay.
Your mother told you of these. It was something that you had, you remembered immediately. You had never seen one before, but it's called a sun dancer.
A sun dancer?
Actually, a magically infused bird. Beautiful, and it's a sign of a good omen. And so, for it showing up in this area on dark tide, kind of heartens your spirits a little bit, and through the trauma that you went through earlier in the day, and through the battle that you just had with the Wolverines, and through the concern for finding, just watching a man fall to his death. Well, he was dead before he fell, but all of that, it kind of lightens your spirits a little bit, because it's a good omen.
Well, I will make the sign to Jinx and the sign to Kismia, and thank them for that blessing. And I say we head back to camp as quickly as we can.
I agree with that.
Finally, a bird that actually does something good. for us.
Exactly.
But Quembar needs to heal himself first.
Yeah,
before
I
we leave.
definitely explained to everyone what it is, that it's a sun dancer. I can help heal you, Quembar. I've got cure wounds.
Let me tell you this too, because you had learned about it as a child. Even in lands inhabited by countless bizarre and fascinating creatures, the sun dancer is seen as a mythical beast and provost. For true sightings are few and far between. At first glance, it can be mistaken for a large, magnificent rooster, but a closer look reveals a fierce and noble creature with a unquestionably magical bearing. All sun dancers are covered in illustrious feathers. though each individual bears a unique pattern of color that glitters like gems in even the dimmest light. A long, flittering tail is perhaps the most distinctive feature, and has been said by poets that the peaceful rustling of those feathers, even when the creature is at rest, is the result of the everflow, which is the Zion food, which is the flow of magic,
Yep.
perpetually cascading over and through the Sundancer. Nearly every part of these magical birds is known to have a variety of alchemical uses, and so they are highly sought by the unscrupulous casters. However, they are also widely believed to be the heralds and messengers of many good aligned gods and good omens, and so the faithful hold them in reverent regard, seeing to their protection whenever they can. And due to the auspicious association, sun dancers are popular figures in the heraldry of noble houses across Verdestia. So, a beautiful omen. Do you guys do anything? It seems to be it's just
Feel better about the burning.
kind of moving around in the trees, and you kind of see it come and go as it kind of flitters around and jumps from tree to tree. It doesn't seem to be there watching you. It's just it's there, and it's
Or
beautiful.
feels better about the burning now and is not going to worry as much, if at all.
Yeah, and if anyone even thinks about like shooting or throwing something at it, I will smack the crap out of them.
I would actually like to go over towards the woods. Where we
I want to say a prayer. Sorry, before the bird's gone. Say, great bird of good omen, please go back to our camp. There are the people there that need such a creature as you to appear to raise all their spirits. For there are dark things happening that are bringing us all down, and you have made us all feel much better. Please, can you go back to the Blue Veil Troop and do the same for them?
Well said, friend. It does not. It doesn't seem to acknowledge the prayer as it just kind of moves around. What seems to be haphazardly. Not sure quite what it's doing. Fleegan, you said you were going to move towards the forest, towards it.
Yeah, I'd like to see if there's any feathers that don't.
Okay. All right. I want you to give me a perception check with advantage.
I'm gonna look if there's any feathers it dropped because I want one of those.
Or poo. I'm not picky at this point.
Poo, I'm not taking. You can have the poo.
Well, knowing Fleegan, yeah, he would get bird poop on him, as he would. Well, as you move towards the forest, it notices your movement, and it lets out a sing-song noise that's quite beautiful, and it flutters its wings out, and majestically they spread and they're beautiful, and it just kind of gains air and disappears off into the trees towards the east. And you notice fluttering down from the tree as it flies away a single golden feather.
Score! Thanks!
No eggs? If it dropped eggs. Or calls
I
dibs
would
on
have
it.
taken an egg. I don't care.
I prefer those golden eggs, yes.
I will pick up the golden feather.
It's beautiful. It's got a heftier weight to it than you would have expected, but it just feels special to you.
I will take it back to the mother and see what she says.
Okay. Cool. All right, what do you guys want to do now?
So now that Quembar has healed himself in part, let's head back. I suggest we take the same path we came.
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
You guys
Unless we
reach
want
the-
more of an adventure.
Hang on just a second. You guys actually reached the willow a little quicker than I expected you to, so let me check something out.
What can we say? Fleegan's got some daggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you guys made quick work of the Werverines. Those things were nasty.
I
but
so
you've
thought
done
it was
that.
falling.
The harder things you guys take care of pretty quickly. The easier things kind of beat you out of the
Yeah, if they're townsies of any kind,
We're
we cannot
toast.
do a
Yeah,
thing
we're
with
toast.
them. Yeah, we're toast.
But if it's a giant spider that has legendary actions, we can take it down.
Got it. No sweat.
Yeah, but the Townsies brought like all you can eat buffet of damage. You know, it was I don't know what we could really
Yeah.
get done.
All right. So you guys are gonna head on your way back, and okay. So you guys are gonna go ahead and just take the path that you came here on, all the way back.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. No dilly dally, just straight on back.
Straight on back.
Yep.
Wow,
Keep
there's
our eyes open.
lots
Yep.
of these other paths that go into forests that
Yeah, on Dark Tide, no thank you. We've already had undead, crazy old men,
More undead. Rats.
werverines,
Werverines.
or whatever the heck those things were.
Fliggin made them Werverines.
were Werverines. Huh?
Werverines.
Then.
I mean, is there a
and-
faster route?
Well, straight line, but
You guys here. Give me just a second here.
you bet.
Guys, back to here.
Just FYI for the party, that amulet I have still has more uses if we think we should use them.
I'm good.
Does anyone have any issue with me taking that amulet?
I think a plus bonus to your constitution would be amazing for you, so I think that's a good idea.
And the Sundancer
Uh,
probably put it there anyway, too.
Yeah, all
I
right.
think you should have.
The maroon women are just going to be all over you. So yeah, take it.
What?
But they may know a bunch of guys that they have hiding, nearby. So, heard some story about that.
I'm gonna have to write another poem now.
All right, I'm just taking care of a couple of things. So, all right, friends, I am going to move you back to Carval.
Yay!
All right, so you have an eventful trip, walking back, and I wanted to grab one more thing. Hang on just a second. And I wanted this to be more dramatic, but you never got into a point to where it needed to be dramatic, darn it. But I'm not going to belabor it anymore. So, come back here, and then I'm going to come here, change this, and I'm going to plop him right here. And then you guys should be back on the Carnival map, correct? Over by the tent fire?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And you see Brian by the
Sorry.
campfire, standing next to a small goat that has a brand new set of leather armor wrapped around it, bleeding, smiling happily, and seems to be pretty excited that you've shown back up. And
Billy.
I lead Churro to Billy so that they can meet each other.
Billy,
So you take-
Churro, Billy.
Yeah. So you take Chiro over to Billy, and they kind of sniff at each other and bonk noses, and Chiro kind of backs up a little bit and gives it a wary eye. Not quite so sure about the goat there, but Billy seems to be very excited that you guys have returned. So, though the day has broken with the cloud cover becoming lessened, the day is cold and the frost still covers the ground. Likewise, you return from the woods to a camp that feels cold as well. far too somber for the day after the successful close of Carnival and your guys' triumphant return. A pallor lies upon the people like the tiny crystals of ice that frost the ground. And some of the youngsters are running about, but even their play seems subdued. As you begin to help pack up the tents and prepare to move on, you can't help feeling uncomfortable, as if you are under some looming, invisible, yet watchful presence. Even more troubling, Borag, Kalnassi, and Cray are nowhere to be seen. Many assume that they went into town for supplies or to smooth things over with the Nevermore Council for some slight during Carnival. But you know the truth of their departure. They told you as such. And based on your conversation with Borag, they should have returned already.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Well, we should secure things here and find out why they haven't returned.
We could head into town, see if we can find them.
Are the
See if anyone here has seen them.
Yeah.
You think that feather will be such a good omen that it might bring Mother back?
I think we should talk to Brian first,
Yes.
since I don't see anybody else around.
You guys inquire of Bran where Borag and Kalnassi and Cray have gone. He doesn't know. You actually you mentioned that you were going to ask some people, and you get some answers like they left early this morning, but we don't know, and well, we think they might have gone to town to take care of some stuff. Something that takes longer than you expect. They had to wait for the council. You don't know when. That kind of thing. So really kind of just vague answers. And they all seem uncharacteristically serious. But it is Darktide after all. And so it's not, doesn't seem to raise suspicion in any way. But you do go up and begin to communicate with Bran about what you've done. And go ahead and role play with him a little bit. Tell him what you guys have accomplished and what you saw.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to Theros. Theros, if they're not here, maybe you should look at that scroll.
I think the other members of the council should be presented with that.
I think first we need to talk with Bran, and we need to get ourselves healed up a little bit. And Bran, I have this fog in my mind I cannot shake. I think I need some help.
Yes. I think we need to see Anton about this. That sounds about right.
We should
be able to help in some ways, but I think Anton might be more appropriate to see.
Why don't you accompany with us? And so we need to seek your wise counsel with Anton and such. We should tell our stories once with all of you.
All right, he agrees with that is quite a good idea, and so let's go over to the Tent of Jests. As you're heading over there, he says, and unfortunately you find out when we arrive there that both Mother and Vezi are still in the same catatonic state that they were from last night. And Anton is quite tired. He still has not slept. He's still doing everything he can to try and help them. And we're not sure. We're beginning to get things packed up, but it's tough. But you all have proven yourselves worthy of trust.
And Anton, we don't want you to kill yourself trying to save them. They're going to survive long enough for us to get the tents packed and get out in the morning.
Oh, I do not believe what you say, young boy.
Boy.
Mother must. She, young lady, I'm sorry. Mother is most important to us, and we must take care of her.
On our trip, we saw a sun dancer. That is a good sign.
His eyes get real big when he says that.
Fleegan, show him the feather.
She says that.
Yes, I will show him the feather.
You produce the feather, and he says, "Oh my! What wonderful good omens this is today." Ah,
Yes. So
It's-
rest,
it's
get
quite-
some food and some sleep. We will take care of the packing.
it's be quite valuable. Yes, as you mentioned it now, I do think that it'd be a good idea if I do get something to eat.
Yes, yes.
I know I will be able to rest, but I do need something. And let me do this. And
Yes.
he takes the feather and he lays it upon Mother's chest, right underneath her chin. And he says a few words of prayer under his breath. And says, Thank you, Zatis. You've done well this day. I believe that it would be good for you to talk to Rand. And I will go get some food. I will be back shortly.
Before you go, Theros is in a bit of a fog.
Yes. And
I was bitten by people who were dead but walked.
oh, the Walking Dead. Oh, afflictions of this kind. Let me see this. Let me see the wound. And
Rancid rats too.
And werebears. You know.
Salvra, we need your help over here. This looks like something that you need to look at. She was oversleeping in a chair, and she kind of rouses up a little bit as you see that, and she comes over to Theros, and they look together. Oh, I believe a poultice would be best for that. It seems to be a lingering infection, and I have what I need over here. And she gets and she kind of mixes some things together, and she puts it on a piece of cloth, and then lays it upon where the bite is, upon your shoulder, and it tends to feel significantly better, and you feel the fog begin to wane. This may take some time, but I believe this will help. You're beginning to feel the effects almost immediately. So,
Good.
The lingering effect of the poison has been more or less cured. It will be cured before it takes any major lasting effect.
Yay.
Was there anybody else who had any lingering effect that I've forgotten at this point?
Not I'm aware of. Of course, he was also bitten by one of the werebears, so hopefully he doesn't turn into one of those.
Hey, might just increase my my strength and stamina.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is entirely possible, but
At the very least, it'll increase your charisma.
Ow.
Yeah, I don't know how much your characters would know, what a were-marine could do to you. Well, in fact, they wouldn't know at all what a were-marine could do to you. But I guess that would be a tell in the telling, or a tale in the telling, as it were. So.
Maybe. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say maybe the wiser amongst us now might be able to provide us any insight as we tell them our tale.
Okay, so you talked with Bran about what you encountered.
And I forget her name.
everything.
Salvra.
Salvra.
Yeah, Salvra.
All right, so you guys begin to recount your tale. Somebody want to give me just a good, quick highlight? It doesn't have to be more than just a minute or two.
And so, with the mission that my father bestowed on us, we headed south to the old oak tree.
Willow.
And there we ran across zombies and skeletons and all kinds of filth that as we got about halfway there,
Cultist.
we ran across a man that kept yelling about filth and disgust, and he was quite filthy and disgusting. And we dispatched him, and there was this. I'm sorry, my head is a little foggy. It was a cottage. What was the name of it? Weather for I don't remember, but
Woodhaven.
Woodhaven, yes, Woodhaven, and we found some long dead bodies there, and it was a sight of unspeakable evil, and we burned it to the ground, but we restored the portrait of Jinx, which where was that? Who has it? Who has it?
I believe we left it at the cabin.
We left it at the.
No, we kept the portrait. We left the
kept
bell.
the portrait. That's right.
We left the bell.
So
on,
I
on
put
the
in
seat.
text. I'm showing the portrait to him right now.
To show him the portrait. When we rescued this, it appeared to be Woodhaven was a haven for Jinx, and it was defiled. We continued on, and we ran across this old man who turned from a man into a bear something. It was like a bear. It was a werewolf. It was, I don't know. It was a wolf man, and there were 3 of them. We killed them, and that's when we got to the oak tree, and that's where we found the sun dancer who gave us his blessing and the feather that is now on the mother's chest. And we quickly returned here as quickly as possible, retrieving what was needed from my father and leaving what he asked us to.
Oh,
And-
what to tell? What to tell?
And now where's my father and my mother, and we must find them to show them what we have recovered.
Oh, sounds like we've encountered these before. It sounds like you've come across a pack of Wolverines, and the Wolverines, thankfully, are not as dangerous as you might encounter with some of the other types of that are like them, whether they be Wolverine, werewolf. And, so you're quite lucky that any one of you get bitten by them.
Point at Theros.
Well, I was bitten, or was I slashed?
You were the only one that was bitten. Everybody else got clawed.
So
Yeah,
I'll
I got
point
bitten.
at him.
I did get bitten for 4 damage. Yes.
Do you feel any lingering effects from the bite? You do not. Do you feel any lingering effects from them?
No, I don't think I do.
Yes, they're not quite as infected as some others might. So it sounds like you were not infected, which is good. But if you feel any strange effects, as if are unable to control yourself intensely at any moment, please see me. But I think you shall be fine.
You mean more than normal?
Yes, I believe he means more than normal.
But then he says, in answer to your question about where Borag and Cray and Kalnassi have gone, he says, you Xantis have proven yourselves worthy of trust. So I will tell you this. A hooded character came to the camp in the early morning today, just before the soul rise. Howled one was named Tadasid. He is an agent of the community of the Unseen Star, which is an enigmatic organization that claims to date back to the time of the War of Ruin itself. Spoke with the council and asked that Borag and Kalnassi and Cray accompany him to a location southeast of here. He claimed to know something of vital importance to the safety of the troop. Now, I wish you to listen to me carefully, Xantis. But before I speak further, you must swear on your honor, as followers of Jinx and Kismia, that you will not repeat it to anyone. Salvra is part of the Vondoran Council, so she's privy to this.
Yes. I
Swear on Jinx.
swear on Jinx, yeah. He is my patron.
Lines. You can swear on Jinx or Kismia.
I swear.
Although earlier I was swearing at Jinx, but you know. So.
And he stares intently at Fleegan.
Yes, I swear on Jinx.
Roar, are you with them, or are you over hanging out in the tent fire area?
I'll give him
You're
that.
also muted. You're also
Okay.
muted.
They can have the portrait too. I figure that's something that should go to the troop.
Or it's still muted. Roar, do you hear me? He must have stayed over in the tent fire area, so
I issue my oath as well.
okay, so yeah, you swear. Then his face kind of darkens and he talks in a little more quieter tone. They went to see evidence of a serious threat to the Blue Veil. What Sid told us is true. He likely has information about a most dangerous foe, the name of which we do not know. And the events of last night likely have something to do with it. So listen to me now, and he leans in closer to you. Something is following the troop, and it has been doing so for more than a month. They are tracking us, and they are watching us. They are hunting us. And if there is even a hint as to this thing's nature, we must know what it be. I cannot say any more about it, and in truth, I know little I could share, even were I inclined to do so. Do not speak of this to the rest of the troop. You swore, and hopefully our Vondoran will be back soon, and we'll all be on our way. I want you to keep a wary eye out today, my friends. With Borag, Kalnassi, and pray away. We are exposed, and we'll need to be able to rely on you if anything happens.
Absolutely.
So go
Theros?
with Jinx. So go with Jinx and Kismia, young Zatis.
Theros,
It-
give them the scroll that we found in the willow.
yeah. And this is what my father asked me to retrieve, this scroll.
Yes, you've done well to retrieve that. That's exactly what I would be looking for. Thank you. With that, we will.
I will leave it in your care.
Well done. Well done. Okay, so we are actually going to be done for the evening at this point. You have reached the camp at about high soul, which is midday. You will, at this point, probably be hungry enough to want to get yourself some lunch.
Yep.
You would be taking a little bit of a break. You are welcome to use what's called the Gooey Rest. Use that in the last chapter, where you can actually take a rest and you take the opportunity once a day in a Gooey Rest to recover any expended spell slots. You can also use it as an opportunity to use hit die if you'd like, but you can definitely recover your spell slots. Now there is healing available through the troop, so because of what you've done and the impressiveness and everything, I'll go ahead and say that you guys had the opportunity to get healed, so everybody can get all their hit points back without having to use any spells or use any hit die or anything like that. You don't. any conditions that you might still lingering conditions that you're under that require a long rest don't happen, but you do get all of your spell slots and recover those if you're wanting to take the Gooey rest. If you're wanting to save it for later in the day, you just need to let me know. But this is a appropriate time to do so because you'll go ahead and get lunch.
Do we have to take the Gooey rest all together, or can we take it individually?
Take it all together.
I wouldn't mind it for the spell slots. I don't need any healing, but anyone else who needs healing, they'll take care of that. So
Yeah, and actually the healing
Well,
doesn't. It's not a
We
big
should
deal.
definitely just
Yeah.
take it now.
So,
Yeah.
so we don't have to rest to heal, he said. So I have 3 spell slots left.
I have 3 first level spell slots.
So I mean, I'm still good if we want to save it.
I don't know that we'll have the opportunity to take it later, though. I think this is a good and
Why
safe place
why
for us to
risk
do
it?
it.
How long does it take to take the Gooey rest?
You have to be down for at least 30 minutes. Doing something like where you're eating or something like that. So lunchtime is probably your first time to take it.
But if we wanted to save it, it's really not that much of an inconvenience.
We just
Yeah,
may
just
not
about-
have the opportunity to use it later.
I agree.
You guys have to make a choice. I'm not trying to steer you one way or the other. You just have to make a choice now.
I have no issues taking it, but I don't have spell slots.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't have
the
a
healing's for
preference
free, so
So we taking it, guys?
I say no, but you guys, let's make a vote, I guess.
The spellcaster should decide because the healing is. We're going to get healed either way. So it's
Well,
not
we've
a
got
spellcaster.
2 spellcasters and one saying no, one saying yes. So
Well, I just think we will get a chance later, and it would be better if,
if
got
you
one.
think we're going to get a chance later, then we'll save it for later. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Now that we're back, though, can I get somebody to look at that ring that we found on the hand on the tree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you probably can.
And there were a few other things that people found that we needed them identified as well.
Right now, everybody's kind of busy, so
Okay.
anybody who would be able to identify that is otherwise occupied. So maybe later in the day.
Do have a use of identify on my apprentice ring.
Yeah, if you want to use that, you could use that while you're taking your lunch break.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
So you identify. I'm throwing up the chat. Let's throw the chat. Find the ring for you here. Was it just the ring? Or was there anything else you needed to identify?
I'm not sure. I know that Gror had a few things from the chests, but I don't remember what they were. I didn't write them down.
And there's a dagger of some kind.
Actually, the dagger we've already seen. The obsidian dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you pull up that in your journal of the info's right there.
I'm just curious if there's any other parts to it that we need to worry
So
about.
you actually cast identify on the ring, then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good thing that you did that. Because had you have put the ring on, you would have attuned to it and thought it was something different than what it was.
Uh-oh.
It is this.
Ooh, fire vulnerability. No, cursed ring. No, bad.
Okay. The vial of green liquid. Found.
Well, you could always wrestle somebody and put the ring on them.
Selvra would be the one that you would talk to about the vial of green liquid, and she does not like the look of it and is quite concerned, but says like she's not really an alchemist. And an alchemist would probably know, but she does not like the look of that vial, but she doesn't know what it is.
But the wooden black mask.
Yeah.
That one has the description. It's a disguise.
Disguise self spell.
You guys know what that does, although showing it to Bran like that is not. That is seems to lean more towards an unsavory type of crowd.
We have another ring too that's silver with dark green stones.
Ah.
And then we had
That's
coins
not
in one chest, and I don't have the number of those coins.
bad.
It was
We
the
do.
large chest, I think.
Yeah, I have to go back and look at that, and I'm not going to take time to do that right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can get you guys that information later. So, I think that's it. Yep, that would be it. The ring, the other ring that you found was jewelry, so it's worth a little bit, but it's not a magical item or a special item. So,
Did we bring the Jinx picture, or did we leave it?
Yes, we brought it.
I thought so. That's what I had it written, like we had it, at least.
I figured we'd give it to the Blue Veil troop. They'd probably have some really good place to put it up.
typically, that would be in the shrine here within the tent that you're in. Would be the place that it would likely go. So, what will happen now?
Mm-hmm.
Find the right section. I'm gonna apologize. I actually didn't expect to get this point, so I did not have everything pulled up.
Well, while you're hunting for that, Fleegan would like to go to Vesey and kneel down and say a prayer to Jinx and Kismia for healing her, bringing her back to, consciousness.
Okay. As you do so, she doesn't seem to stir, but you feel like what you said was appropriate at this time. Okay. So yeah, this is what I was looking for. Okay. So after you guys are done with lunch and doing the things that you're doing and stuff, Brain will actually ask you to start helping pack up the two big wagons that are over by the road.
Yep.
We'll go to the druid while we're doing that, or before we do that, even.
Selvra is right there in the tent with you.
Okay. Because I had wanted to talk to her about the chest thing.
Okay, we'll do that next time.
Okay.
Because we're actually out of time. We need, but ultimately, where we'll pick up the next time, we can do that little role play next time at the beginning. Help me remember to do that, and then we'll pick up with you guys starting to pack up a carnival by the road. Okay. So, to summarize, Vezi and Mother Salvenza have not recovered from whatever is afflicting them. Borag, Kalnassi, and Cray have not returned, and people are nervous as to why. Brian has told you that Taddis Sid left them, and that there is something that is tracking and hunting the troop. So that, my friends, ends our session for this evening. So we hope that you enjoyed yourself. Did you all have a good session? I sure did.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Hi.
Except for all the
Very
crap
enjoyable.
rolls.
Well, you guys managed.
I
to-
didn't have a problem with any of the rolls myself. Wow.
Oh, that's just me. That's just me.
But for our viewers, we thank you for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this tale, and we hope that your minds were opened by wonder this evening. We look forward to the next time that we're able to get together and play. And we remind you, as always, may all of your adventures be sticky. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.